Hi, my name is Isobel. I'm an Aviation Security Analyst for Osprey Flight Solutions, and I'll be delivering this week's update. This week, the Osprey system has registered a total of 2,019 incidents, or pings, and since last Thursday, the analyst team has published 40 alerts, of which 17 were critical. Our critical alerts have included the reported downing of a hostile air target by the Saudi-led coalition over Jeddah, suspected Israeli airstrikes in Syria's Hama and Latakia governorates along the eastern Mediterranean Sea coast, and continued indirect fire attacks against airports and air bases in Iraq. We also issued an alert on the 3rd of May concerning suspected manpads use in Myanmar in the shootdown of a Myanmar military helicopter claimed by KIA rebels. This Osprey Explore chart for Myanmar, covering the last 12 months, illustrates the increase in conflict activity in the country, similar to the increase seen in social unrest in the wake of the coup at the beginning of February. We'll be issuing a case study on Myanmar in the next week, so please keep an eye out for that one. In terms of aviation-related COVID-19 developments, over the past week, as vaccination rollouts continue, we're seeing more announcements of the easing of restrictions for vaccinated travellers. For example, several Caribbean nations, including the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas, have removed PCR certificate requirements for international travellers who have been fully vaccinated. Also, the European Commission has issued a proposal for member states to gradually reopen their borders to vaccinated travellers from third countries who wish to enter the EU and Schengen area for non-essential purposes as a future extension of the EU COVID-19 certificate scheme. We've also just announced another webinar coming up in our COVID-19 series, which will take place on the 13th of May. This webinar will discuss how government regulations have impacted the global operating environment amid the pandemic. A link will be in the post above for registration. We also recently issued an alert concerning a security incident at Central Nebraska Regional Airport in the US on the 4th of May. Local media reported that a 19-year-old male carrying a shotgun trespassed on a secure area of the airport and barricaded himself inside a parked private jet. Whilst the authorities were able to bring the incident to a safe close with the male surrendering, it is unclear why he had boarded the aircraft and what his intentions were. This incident, as well as several other previous incidents involving security breaches and or armed individuals at a range of smaller aviation facilities in the US in recent years, highlights the issue of security at these facilities, potentially including possible shortcomings and complacency at facilities perceived to be low risk. Finally, and staying in Nebraska, a strange incident occurred this week at the Central City Airport after a light aircraft undergoing maintenance took off without anyone on board. The aircraft flew for around a mile and a half, reaching 200 feet in the air before it crashed into a cornfield. That's all we have for this week. Thank you for listening, and please join us again for next week's update.